right here in Memphis, Tennessee. Here comes the King right now.
I mean, line it up. Oh, big sign over here, Lawler's fan club. We need that right out there. Lawler is the King going against the Hitman inside a cage this afternoon, Jerry.
Well, you know, we saw a little piece of video earlier. We saw what took place last Wednesday night down at the Coliseum. The Hitman, the Undertaker. You know, you get certain feelings in a match, Lance, and you know when things are going your way. You feel like there's certain opportunities when you think, this is my opportunity to take this match. And, man, that's when you go right in for the kill. I had Bret Hart set up, as you saw. I waited till the time was right. Bang, I caught him in the pile driver. And just as the referee was coming over to count 1, 2, 3, what happens? The Undertaker snatches the referee, picks him up and gives him the big choke slam. That ends the match. We won the match, but not the way I wanted to. And then you saw all of these guys coming in and pulling Bret Hart and I apart. Well, that's not going to happen this afternoon. There'll be nobody inside that steel cage to pull Bret Hart and I apart. We're going to get to go at it as long as it takes, Lance, and it may take a while. But the unique stipulations on this WWF cage match is, ordinarily here in the USWA, you put people in a cage to keep them inside or to keep outside interference out. But in this situation, once you're in the cage, you try to get out. That's the only way you can win. The first man that is able to get out of this cage and put both feet on that Coliseum floor is going to be handed the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship belt. Now, everybody remembers back in 1988. You know, it's been a dream of mine, Lance Russell, every time, from the very first time I stepped foot in a ring in Memphis, Tennessee, to someday win a world title. You know how many opportunities I had, how close I came for years, this close, but never was able to land that big one. I went against Jack Briscoe. I went against Dory Funk. I went against Terry Funk. I went against Harley Race. I went against Nick Bockwinkel. And so many times I thought I had a world title, but it always somehow eluded me. Until finally, 1988, Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, came to Memphis. Jackie Fargo, the special referee, Lance, it's indelible in my mind, just like it was yesterday. And I walked out of the Mid-South Coliseum, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. And my dream at that time was to call in and challenge all the federations. At that time, there was the USWA, there was the AWA, there was the WCW, and there was the WWF, and there was World Class Wrestling. And I challenged all their champions. Let's get together. Let's have a big tournament. Let's see who truly is the world champion, the one true King of the Hill. Well, as you know, Lance, they all didn't answer the challenge, but Kerry Von Erich, I got to admit, was man enough to put up the world-class world championship against the AWA title in Chicago. And as you know and everybody else knows, that's how the unified title came about. Right. The unified title that Double J Jeff Jarrett is wearing right now, I unified by beating Kerry Von Erich in Chicago. And what I'm going to tell everybody right now is when I beat, and not if I beat, but when I beat Bret Hart this afternoon in my backyard, the Mid-South Coliseum, I'm going to once again put out the challenge. I'm going to see who is the one and only true King of Wrestling. I'm going to see who is the one and only true champion, because when I get that World Wrestling Federation belt, it's going to be open to all comers. And I want anybody and everybody to come and challenge the King, and we'll find out who is the man in wrestling. Bret Hart, you've made the mistake of your life, pal. You've come into my backyard, and everybody right here knows the King don't lose in Memphis, Tennessee.
Jerry, stay with me just a second. We've got some comments from Bret Hart about the meeting with you this afternoon. Let's take a listen to the Hitman.
Well, I'm standing here now with Bret Hitman Hart here in Memphis, Mid-South Coliseum. And Bret, how do you feel? You came out a loser in the bout with the King and Double J Jeff Jarrett.
How do I feel about being a loser right here in Memphis?
Well,
let me tell you something. I'm no loser. The loser's Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler's got the nerve. He's got the referee in his pocket. He's got another referee in his pocket. He's got all kinds of people backing him up that don't even know what they're thinking. You know, I didn't lose that match tonight. Undertaker lost that match by, Undertaker had it up to here with the referee. Because what do you expect?
I think you had it up to there.
It's in the back seat of Jerry. You know something? This Saturday, don't worry about today. Today is over. Today's a day that's gone. Let's look to tomorrow. And tomorrow is the future. And the future for Jerry Lawler is very, very dim. 15-foot high steel cage match. I've never lost a cage match, Jerry Lawler. And I don't care who you got backing you up. I don't care who's there cheering you on. I don't care if there's signs. I don't care if people are disappointed when the Hitman takes Jerry Lawler and destroys him once and for all. Jerry Lawler, you will pay. I promise. Tonight was just a little sample of what you're going to get this Saturday. 15-foot high steel cage match. Jerry Lawler, you will be history.
Well, there he is, and the statistics say he's never lost a cage match.
That's right. He complained about the referee being in my pocket. Well, let me tell you something, Bret. As you know, in this cage match, there'll be no referee in the ring. There'll be no excuses. There'll just be you, and there'll just be the king. And when it's all over, Bret Hart, there's a first time for everything. You've never lost a cage match, but you've never had one in my hometown of Memphis, pal.
You hear it from the king, the tour de force this afternoon at the Coliseum. Back in just a minute.